Casper, the friendly ghost. But anyway, Casper, 30 years. We're getting old.
Yeah.
30 years ago, I was a kid watching it for the, seeing it in theaters, and we can talk about the memories on that later, because there's some good ones. And shame we didn't get to recreate it.
Yeah.
No one's back there, right? Because I forgot. It came so fast. October came so fast. I'm like, oh no, I didn't get Stinky, and now we can't. But we'll do it. Got to recreate it.
Yeah.
After 30 years. But I feel like it's been over. I feel like it's since the 2000s, or since the 90s. So I probably haven't seen it. Fan of it. So I've probably watched it. Well into the late 90s. But that's probably about over 25 years since I've last seen it. And it was great seeing it in theaters. So it brought back memories for me. And it brought back, in the same tree, you know what's coming. And, like right at the beginning of the movie, I like how it sets up. You got the emblem and the Universal, and it's got the moon. So I like how it's got this horror, scary, spooky vibe throughout the movie, too, you know. But then it goes from that. Then you got the cool gates, the cool-looking house, that old type of house style. And then those kids walking in there, and I'm like, oh, I know where this is. I haven't seen it forever, but the moment they're like, hey, I want to be in the picture, I was like, oh, I know where this is going. I know where I'm remembering this. And yeah. So that was a nice way to start it. And memories, good stuff. It was nice to see Christina Ricci again, Bill Pullman. I mean, that was the time. It's like when you're a kid, Robin Williams was in everything. Bill Pullman, the next year, Bill Pullman would be our president in Independence Day. So kind of fitting. Next year would be how many years then for America? So that'd be, and then 1996 would be the 30th anniversary for that. So I think they should re-release Independence Day in theaters to coincide with the big number, 250 for America? Yeah. That'd be the big 250. They should do it. That'd be the first time there. And I'm like, cool. And Bill Pullman was always cool. And it was good to see all of them in there. And just Casper, Fatso, Stretch, and Stinky. The ghostly trio. Such good stuff.
It is an awesome movie. It's good to see it again. My family used to have it on VHS. So
back as a kid then. But they had the toys, the figures and stuff like that too. So
it's not even nice that they even had a cartoon series.
that was
for the movie,
too.
The movie cartoon series.
So that was neat catching up on that these last couple of years.
Back in the day when all good movies had, cartoons.
Yeah, even the R-rated stuff had cartoons, which was always fascinating.
But 30 years, and I think it still holds up to this day. I think it's a great family film, good comedy, also got that horror aspect to it. Good kind of a coming-of-an-age kind of movie.
Mm-hmm. Good messaging.
Heartwarming,
like
you said.
I could say you're about this heartwarming messaging, and we're at the same time we're thinking of the stuff there. I mean, that score gets me all the time, too. I like that dun, 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 dun. It's just like, and it's like, I'm starting to get tears. I know stuff that's coming. It's going to be the emotional stuff, especially the more and more towards the end of the film, and that music plays like, it's coming.
Back in, I feel like some of the golden era of movies.
I mean, it's just another thing there. You don't appreciate it then. As a kid, it was more of you got Casper and the ghost and all that stuff there. And he had the nice story, which is fine, because you liked, the Professor Harvey and then Cat, and stuff there. And then Eric Idle and the evil bad guys, the guy and the lady, bumbling around. So you got, the comedy, you're into that. And even had Bueller, in there. I was like, shit, freaking everybody was in this.
Yeah, good cameo.
I mean,
in the mirror.
Make my day. I tell you, no respect. And then Mel Gibson's like, I like this face.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
They had everyone.
That's a good, just a fun, when I saw them jumping in, I was like, oh, and he's doing this. I'm like, oh, memories are floating back. And I'm like, holy crap, who are all the characters? And that was all the characters, just I can always talk about that story too, but the guy going there for the exorcism, no problemo. Piece of cake, piece of crumb cake. And then comes out, no problemo. It's like, holy crap. And then, who you gonna call? Someone else. I'm like, it's Ray! They got Ghostbusters. I'm like, oh my gosh, all that. Best cameos in a movie, I'd say. You can't beat that. That is damn. So then Casper, Ghostbusters are connected in one universe.
Officially credited.
no problemo. It's a crumb cake. Which makes me think of, because he quoted that stuff all the time. Because, at back when I used to work at, and the one guy, the one that's a little good kid, great kid, I always loved him when he was talking, and that was one of the things he'd talk all the time. Or he'd always go like, oh, gee, thank you, or when he'd do something to help out, he'd be like, no problemo. Or so then he'd always be like, piece of cake, and then always be like, and I'd be like, piece of crumb cake. So that makes me think of that, and then he quoted that movie an awful lot. Just like he quoted a lot of that stuff. So it brings back that. He was a good kid. Miss him. Yeah. Good kid. Hope he's doing okay. And again, just like I said, so now it's like you're getting all that good, it's a funny comedy movie, but then you get the stuff with the mom. Well, yeah, the mom. I guess that makes sense too. Like, the father and daughter, nice emotional stuff there.
Father and daughter done right.
And then you got the stuff with them, the sadness of the mom, and it's all, I feel like it's one of those things where it's done very well, where he stops and he's like, I tell you what, if this doesn't work at this time, then I'll stop, and if I don't find what I'm looking for, blah, 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 and it's like, it's all gonna come when he's looking for. He's even gonna see their mom, it's just, it's just, and that music playing, and then Casper, can I keep you, and all that stuff there, and then the sad stuff there, and then it just gets really thin. There's like, you don't even remember your mom, your dad, you don't remember your favorite this, what it was like being a kid, what was this, and I'm like, it gets, there's some good stuff there, when she's sitting there going, I can't know if I'm starting to not remember my mom, then she's remembering stuff like this, and she'd never forget you, and then it's just all this stuff remembering, and then she finds his room and his stuff, and then it's just, he remembers all that stuff there, and just, the emotions, there's so much going on, beginning, and then the middle, and then the end just really trains you into everything with the dad, and then the Lazarus machine. I always thought that was cool, the little, combing in the, and then she's getting all over her face, and the little bow tie, and then the one guy, Eric Idle with the villain, and he's all like, at least his hair was like all nice and slicked back, so it's like, well, at least he got his hair all nice, and after all that happening, it's like, holy crap. And it chokes you up on a lot of stuff there, and then that ending, of course, with the dance, Casper, the mom, heavenly, it's like, oh goodness, and then talking one last time with the dad, and just, goodness, all over the place. Hits you with the emotions.
It makes you cry.
It does. I mean, it does. It was good stuff.
I think it's a great movie, and like you said, it hits you in the heart, which is something you need nowadays, since there's a lot of heartless movies.
I mean, that was good with all that stuff there. There was a lot of stuff about life and death, and then the unfinished business, and then like heaven and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, damn, there was so much in that movie that I was remembering, and then just wasn't expecting, when you, like, as a kid, you just don't think of it, because as a kid, it's the ghosts, and then, the cool effects, and then being a young guy, like everyone at that time, Christina Ricci, it's just how it was. She was always, I was like, as a kid there, you're always like, lucky Casper. Yeah. So it's just, good stuff, and the villain lady again. Yeah. Interesting voice. Yeah. That deep voice. It's like fascinating. Yeah. So it stands out. And then, like I was saying, I'm like, either way, in human form or ghost form. What? Yeah. It's like Tiffany. It's like human form or doll. Yeah. They still do a good job with it. Plus, like we were saying, it's amazing how she looked as a ghost. And with the animation there, they didn't see how important jiggle physics are in animation. It's like, damn, those scenes were like, wow, they actually were like, let's make them jiggle. It's like,
Even Fatso.
I like, and then Fatso, my man. It's like, and they're eating, and then, so I always remember them eating, and it just coming out of them, and it's like, hey, this was good enough to eat off of. Do we have guests? Oh, Casper, and he's a little fried egg, and his little eye drooping, and I always felt sad. I'm sad. It's like a happy movie, and then it's got the comedy, and then you're sad when Casper's like, because then you realize Casper's dead. He's a dead kid. Yeah. And then they talk about it, and then it's like, damn.
Yeah.
So all the jiggle physics and bitches back and all that good stuff, and their hair and everything flying as they're around, the little snotty bitch and stuff like that, getting it in the end, and damn, there's a lot of stuff that just, like, the ghosts are coming at us with the items, but like,
Yeah.
well, we just can't, you know, but he accidentally is like, oh, right in the heart, oh, you got me.
Yeah.
With the emotion, so good. Watching them on the big screen again after having seen it in 30 years on the big since then, as a kid in 95. So it was nice again to see that on the big screen. Again, 30 years, damn.
Yeah.
And it looks good. I've always liked how Casper and the ghost look, so you get that kind of like see-through, but then there's that solidness for their face enough to see them. Very good. I thought it looked good. The castle, that home thing, the little going down to the laser machine, all the layer and all the little mechanics. All that stuff's always cool in the movies when you're a kid. They always had stuff like that with the mechanics or something moving to get to where you were. Casper, those little breakfast stuff, and always something like that.
It makes me think of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, Pee-wee and his breakfast.
Pee-wee movie.
Yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And watching this again as an adult, you're sitting there seeing this out there, and it's like you have stuff that I feel like watching movies nowadays you don't see again. And it's not just the fact that, you know, there's less of like good morals and story and stuff like that and good characters, in my opinion. It's the filmmaking aspect of all. I feel like I haven't watched an MCU movie or anything like that where I'm watching and you got that music playing, the score in this, and that music, dun, 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 and then all that stuff. You can tell it's that big orchestral stuff there. It's like when you see those old movies and that music is just playing throughout, and it's like, wow, that's good music throughout this movie, you know. So music is a big part of it. And then I'm seeing these shots again. I'm like, boy, those are those cinematic shots that they go with. They're going for something, and I'm like, I feel like I don't see or hear that in movies nowadays. And it just kind of, I don't know if it's because the digital stuff and everything's filmed this way, and it's just the lack of, I don't know, it's just, besides the obvious lack of people just aren't talented anymore and don't want to have passion to make actual films like this anymore. I know they're like, oh, we just want to, you know, sell Casper and so that, but they still look like they tried to make a good coherent movie with characters and heart and depth and everything, and instead of also trying to sell Casper products. But, I don't know.
I really like the special effects they did in this movie. Because not only did they use CGI, but I feel like they also used practical effects. So it was a nice mix of the two. And even though the CGI stuff is outdated, it still looks pretty good compared to some of the stuff the poor animation they do nowadays.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's so much you could say about this movie. From characters, to story, to the heart, the message, the special effects, the actually having, you know, a set and all that stuff. Kind of makes me want to have a house just like it.
It's always neat. It's always those houses that are like, it's always cool.
And I could see why they made a cartoon series of it. I think it was a very successful movie.
Well, yeah, but then I don't know what happened with it though. But then they couldn't make it. And then the ones they made after it, I was so excited to see there was another Casper movie years later. It was at 90, I think 97, 98. Casper: Spirited Beginning, and I was just very disappointed when it was direct to video. And I still got the damn game. It was one of those weird VHS things. It wasn't quite like the Disney ones, or there's the slip where they come out. It was this weird kind of funky plastic card. It was weird. I'm like, why is this such a weird case? And then it was a Spirited Beginning. It had nothing to do with this. So it had to do with before this movie happened. And it wasn't anything to do with, I think Casper, or maybe it was, because I remember him on a train and he's entering the town, and then I guess that's why it's the beginning. But I'm like, this has nothing to do with the continuation from that story. That would have been nice. Yeah. Then they did the Casper Meets Wendy, which was just like, what the hell? And then they made just CGI stuff after that. And I was like, damn, what a shame, because I wish they would have kept going with... But stuff happens, and at least we got... If anything, at least it's one good standalone.
Yeah.
And in reality, you don't really need any more. It's one of those things especially if they try to do it nowadays, I feel like they'd ruin it. Like, if they try to do a legacy thing, that'd be weird. You know, Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci older, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they would do the same crap they always do, and it would kind of like the same nowadays stuff there when they bring back the legacy character type stuff there. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, nah. So it's best to be that one and done, and to be a very good film.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the Beetlejuice movie when they made that, but I still think, it didn't need it.
Oh yeah.
I'm afraid they would ruin Casper if they brought it back.
Yeah, Beetlejuice was great, but who knows if Beetlejuice will also be as, good enough.
I just can't push it enough how much it hits you in the heart. Great writing, really, and great acting carries the story very through. And it's, like you said, there's kind of like book ending stuff, like he's looking for his wife and mom of his daughter, and they bring them together at the end, and
gets you good stuff.
And then it's always nice to see the bad guys get their comeuppance. His uncles were really mean and didn't like people, but even they had character development, so it's great
like
to have all his character development.
It's like, hey, he's kind of actually fun, we'll have him we can be what was it, quartet, there you go. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then like, oh, we can't do it, we love the big lug, he loves us. No, sorry.
So it's nice to see everyone have basically character development from start to finish, basically.
Yeah, because it's like you get started. I like how they went to the house, and it's just with them inspecting the house and the little bits they go through there, to the where she first meets Casper, to the dad like, don't worry honey, and picking her up and running away with her, and it's like, I have legs, Dad, and sitting there running off, and it's great. And they just work so well. They a very believable father and daughter. And just that interaction was like, well, too bad, ghosts. Too bad. And like, oh, we're gonna scare you. And it's like, no. And then it's like, it's your place. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah.
It's like, but you can also take a guess as possession.
Yep.
As a way. So good stuff. Always good. And then, like I said, it just brings back, I wish that I would have remembered, but October came so fast, where I was, when I first saw it, memories, and then I had to get it. I got Stinky's my favorite. He was my favorite. So I got the Stinky toy. Is one of those ones where it's like this big, and you press him, and it actually has a smell. And as a kid, you love Pizza Hut, so we're going to Pizza Hut. And then I just remember in the back seat, my aunt and uncle, after they took me in, I'm just sitting there, and just right in my face. So it just. So if I were a cartoon, I'd be turning green, and then I just felt sick, and we're sitting there pizza, and it got me like right up in my nose and everything, where that stuff burped right into me, and I feel terror, like, ugh, and then we're getting pizza, it's like, ugh. So as a kid, it's like, it sucked, but you always remember that. Damn it, Stinky, he ruined pizza for me that one time, but it'll always be there for me.
I like their set design for the house. They use a lot of uses of circles and swirls. I noticed in the ceilings.
Well, I like how the floor made me think of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I could see that.
Because you know how she starts at the yellow brick road, and it's like, the road is like this little strip right here, and it circles out before it becomes the road that, So it's just kind of, I'm like, hey, it's like the yellow brick road. So I thought that was kind of neat, and it was always me. And it's like, follow it, so you had to actually walk around. It's like, can I just skip to the part where I go here? No, you have to follow it exact. So I'm like, yeah, so many cool things there. Yeah. Telling you, that stuff, it looks good. Yeah, and then they had the creepy statues in the front yard, broken and stuff. It almost felt like it was a graveyard in the front yard itself. Yeah, again, it feels like you don't see that stuff anymore. Even with all the CGI they had in that movie and the effects, it wasn't 100%, where everything now is just, it's terrible. Everything now is in front of the blue screens. When you see the stuff like Marvel movies, what was that thing they're doing for the new Avengers movie? I heard they're getting, with Nightcrawler. I think they said somewhere it's like Nightcrawler, he got done shooting his scenes. He's like, not done shooting all my scenes. And it was just him in front of the blue screen or whatever. And he didn't interact with anyone. It was something like, I don't know, well, whatever, but I interacted with, like, it's like, you interact with no one around you and they're going to put you in? This is stupid. Just like when what's-his-face, where Gandalf was kind of complaining, you'd see the shots and where everything's like green, his little hobbit room, but it's all green stuff everywhere, and he had to perform by himself, and he's like, it's just kind of soulless because you're interacting but you're not, and it's weird. So I don't know,
Because I think even back when they did the original Scooby-Doo movie, live action, they at least had something to represent
Yeah, I like
Scooby.
that, with Scooby and all that stuff there. God, why don't they release those in theaters again?
When, movies did voice acting, and the characters do voice acting, sometimes they'll actually have them interact with each other.
I still need to see it, but the Road to El Dorado, it's like both the guys were like together so they can bounce off each other, and it shows when they say like in the movie with the characters. So it's like, instead of just being, I get it, but it's nice when you have someone there because they can interact with, like, if like Robin Williams can like then bounce off of someone, and
exactly.
then they can, or it's like when you watch a movie in general, like say Ghostbusters, how or Are You Ready for the Summer, etc. with Bill Murray, where you just let him go.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And
that.
he's just sitting there like like with that scene in Meatballs where he's sitting there at the dance. He just kind of sits there and he's like doing this, and it goes on for like 2 minutes. He's just being dancing. It's like, what is he doing? He's so goofy. But it's stuff like that where you see them go and you let them go, bite your head off. Still my favorite line. Something about it.
Do you mind if I play through here? From Groundhog.
I mean, that's
what's important about actually having characters together when shooting.
And just like that, happy 30th to Casper. Loved that movie as a kid. Mm-hmm. And then, like everything, it's one of those ones where, you watch it, happy to see it in theaters, have my memory of Stinky and ruining my Pizza Hut memory. See it in theaters, watch it on the big screen and thinking, Christina Ricci. and keep going with that. And then you get it on VHS and you watch it on VHS for like maybe a year, 2 years at most, and then
you move on.
It goes away, and then you don't see it, but you still love it and you remember it.
Right.
I still have the VHS. I have it on DVD. You get it, but then it's one of those things where it's like you get it, but then you just don't have time or think about popping it in. Or, I don't know, I feel like it's got to be more of a special, like, kind of thing to see it again. I think what's good about when they release these back in theaters again, and it's like, it brings it back more and it means more.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I haven't seen this, and I saw this 30 years ago, and here I am now, seeing it again on theaters, and it's bringing back all the stuff, and you're enjoying it more than, I guess, than just nowadays popping it in or watching it on streaming or whatever. And it gives you that experience again, so it floods with the memories, and it feels good. Yeah. Just like when we saw a Goofy movie this year. I know we watched it on DVD for its whatever anniversary, 5 years ago, but it was nice to see, because I still remember the guys like, most of you probably seen this movie for the first time on VHS, and I'm like, I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
Back in '95, so I remember seeing that sitting in the screen. We were front row, like almost like pretty close, and that screen was big. So I still remember that opening scene was freaky with Goofy and his dream and everything. And of course, at that time, just like Christina Ricci, when she's like Max, when you're like, kids, and so that too. And then, woo! But it was good seeing that again, and then seeing that again on the big screen. I was like, we got to go to that D23 event, because who knows if we'll ever see it on the big screen again. And it's an anniversary thing, and it's just like, it's so good to see this again, which is why I love to do it. It was so good last year. I know they're doing it again this year with the Spider-Man films. We saw the Spider-Man films, the Raimi ones, and holy crap, I haven't seen them since seeing them when they first came out. And I'm just sitting there thinking, this is why I feel like that's the best superhero trilogy. 1, 2, and 3. I don't care what people say. 3 is great. Great freaking movie. It's just everything about it, it gets you, and you're like, damn, these are good movies. So it's nice to see these. I hope they keep doing more of these releases. I'm still mad they didn't put Pokemon in last year, Little Mermaid, and Batman 89 last year for their anniversaries. But there's still time. Unless this were Craigie Ferg. There's no time! But anyway, speaking of no time, like the monkey son, I guess we got to go. But Casper 30th, happy anniversary. I don't know, see if you can, or just go watch Casper. It's good stuff. Show it to your kid and family or whatever.
Definitely, they'll love it, because it brings out even the kid in you, an adult. So,
and it'll be good for them to see something like that.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Casper 30th, the friendly ghost. Yay!
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, well, I guess 4.